Hi everybody, welcome back to Aesthetics Plus Clinics. This is your friendly neighborhood plastic surgeon, Dr. Surinder. So, today we are going to be talking about what are the options for nasal augmentation. We get a lot of clients looking for an augmentation of the dorsum, which is this pores or form for making of the bridge. And so there are various options and what you can use for it and what are the pros and cons. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So non-surgical rhinoplasty is basically when we are using a filler to create the dorsum, or we are creating a dorsum using fillers plus threads or only fillers. So that's a non-surgical procedure. It's like an outpatient. You come in, you can do that. You can we inject the filler along the line and we create the dorsum. But there is a special technique to it where it has to be injected so that it stays in place and it doesn't displace. And that is sort of non-surgical, but the filler will get absorbed over the next year or so, and so that is a temporary procedure and you might have to repeat it later on after maybe a year or a year and a half, depending on what kind of a filler is used. And I don't do permanent fillers for the nose or anywhere on the face, so I would not suggest it to anyone also. And that is a non-surgical option, which is basically a filler which is an hyaluronic acid based filler, and that is what we use for nostril augmentation, and it's a non-surgical procedure. If we have to augment it, then you have options which are either synthetic, which is basically a silicone implant, or then you have the natural substances which are cartilage or bone, and there can be various combinations of both of these. If you're looking for a dorsal augmentation with a little bit of a tip plasty or a tip raise, then again an implant works well because you're not doing anything else. You're looking and isolating it and just putting a implant there to elevate. Why I use implants is, once, yes, it is inert, the complication rates are there, but when done properly the complication rates are minimal, and secondly you're not doing further cuts in the body and you're not harvesting your rib or your ear cartilage or anything else to do an augmentation. So if it's an isolated augmentation and you don't want anything else to be done in the nose, then yes, I would go in with a simple silicone implant. And if by chance, if you need some more work to be done on the nose, or you're doing a lot of other reconstructions or in other corrections, then I would not put in a silicone implant. Then I would go in with a natural material, which could either be a bone or a cartilage. Next option that most commonly that we do is the cartilage. Now cartilage, depending on the amount of increase that you're looking for in the nose or the height of the nose, you can either use ear cartilage or you can use septum cartilage if the septum is there, but in a depressed nose usually the septum is not available, so you either have to go into an external source, which is either the ear or the rib cartilage. Both have their pros and cons. The ear cartilage, if it's only a limited augmentation or limited height improvement that you're looking for, then you can take ear cartilage either from one ear or from both ears. But if you're looking for a significant improvement of the whole dorsum of the nose and you want a significant height increase, then the best option is to go in with the rib cartilage. The rib cartilage is taken by a small incision here around on the rib cage, and where all the ribs come and meet, we take a piece from there, and that is what is shaped and then used as a rib cartilage here. Augmentation of the dorsum using bone is another option, where the bone can be taken from different sources. It can either be from your hip bone, which is the iliac crest, or it can be from the olecranon, or it can be a skull bone. And I prefer to use the bone only in very limited cases, because when you actually need a lot of rigid fixation, then I prefer the bone. If not, I still prefer the cartilage for most of my reconstructive work, or where you need a large augmentation which is need to be done. Now, what are the pros and cons for the silicone implant? For the silicone implant, the pros are it is readily available. You don't need extra cuts. Your procedure is smaller. I mean, the duration is less. and you can they come in prefixed sizes. You can trim it and you can insert it. You're not damaging anything else, you're not cutting anything else, you're just doing what is required. The disadvantages are that it is a foreign material, so yes, there are chances that it can get infected. If it gets infected, then it has to come out. If it is not if it's not mild and it's not treated by antibiotics, then it has to come out. But the advantage of using a silicone implant is that even if it comes out, then it goes back to how it was, and after 6 months you can either redo it or you can use some other thing to augment it. But if it's only an isolated augmentation without anything else, then yes, I give them the option of an implant, and I still do silicone implants. The advantages of the bone is that it is very rigid, and but you again need an extra procedure to remove the bone, which could be either from the skull or from the olecranon or the hip bone, and so the downtime is a little more. Secondly, the bone is rigid, so it gives you very rigid fixation. So for complicated reconstructions where you need a rigid fixation from bone to bone, then I prefer the bone graft. But again, the problem with bone grafts, if you take a too big a bone graft, if the blood supply doesn't get established, then there are chances of resorption. So the resorption rates are higher than a cartilage graft. Most preferred material that we use for our complex reconstructions as well as reconstructions is cartilage, and even in that I would prefer the rib graft. The advantages being that you get a good chunk of tissue of cartilage, which can be used and shaped as we want it depending on the situation of the nose. And secondly, because we are taking it from the central part, so it gives you a good rigid fixation and you can shape it as you want it. The disadvantages being that yes, because the ribs are usually curved, if there might be a chance there is some thing called warping. Warping is basically the memory of the cartilage to turn, because the ribs are curved, so there is a tendency for it to warp onto one side. But we have some procedures that we do during the harvest of the bone of the cartilage and afterwards also, before we put it in, to prevent these issues. But yes, there is a slight possibility that can happen, not regularly, but yes, that is a possibility you have to keep in mind. But it can always be reshaped and put back in. So these are your basic options for the augmentation of the nose, surgical as well as non-surgical. So what do you think works for you, or if you have any other queries, please let us know. So you drop in a comment below and we'll try and help you out with it. And my personal preference, as I said, if it's only an isolated dorsal augmentation without anything else, then yes, an implant, which works well. Or if you're doing something complex or you want better augmentation or a higher or a larger augmentation, then I would take a rib graft, and that's my preferred choice.